This is a special presentation from Council Rock Primary School.
Well, good evening, everyone. I think I'm going to leave my mask on unless it gets super annoying and I can back away. Welcome to Council Rock. I am Matt Tappan, principal here at Council Rock. I'd like to introduce our assistant principal, Shirley Flores. We are so excited to have you here. I see some familiar faces and lots of new faces. So welcome to Council Rock. You are actually the first set of parents that we have been able to welcome into our new space, even though it's been built for a few years. So welcome. We're really excited to be able to be here and in person. And certainly excited to start the 13 years of journey that is the class of 2035. Everyone look at that and think about it for a moment. The class of 2035. I just want to make sure that we share our mission here at Brighton. Certainly there's a lot there. But really is promoting successful academics, successful whole children, and that is definitely what we focus on here at Council Rock. So this is actually ours. I like ours a lot better because it looks nice and visually appealing. But this is Council Rock's mission. And our mission is to develop joyful learners and contributing members of the community through developmentally appropriate practice. And that is something that our staff over the last several years has really gone into a deep dive looking at, making sure that kids get to be kids, making sure that the work that we do is engaging, that play plays a huge role, especially at the kindergarten level, and that we really look at things. So the other thing that is not on here is we are a very proud international school for Habits of Mind. Habits of Mind is something that we have studied for the last 6 to 7 years. We are an internationally certified school and very proud of that, and now even prouder that the rest of the district is taking that on. And we as Council Rock are being the ambassadors to all of the other buildings to help them build what that looks like for their students as kids grow and age. So we are really excited about that. So the purpose for tonight is to just give you a brief overview of what the kindergarten program looks like, and then talk a little bit about the registration process. We're hoping that we've streamlined that for you and made it very easy. And then you'll get to view, those of you who are here, I see some people over through the camera. It is also live streaming. They won't be able to visit, but we will put a video up online, but you will be able to visit a classroom, a kindergarten classroom in the new wing, so you'll be able to walk through, and we will guide you there. Before we get started, I would like to introduce our 3 PTSA co-chairs. So I have a Monica, and an Emmy Lou, and they will come up and they will share a little bit about PTSA. So can I give you the microphone? Good, come over. So they do so much for us here at Council Rock, so they have some interesting things to share about how you can be involved through the PTSA.
Thank you, Mr. Tappan. So I'm, I guess, the second Monica, because this Monica, she's been here for 3 years in this position, but my name's Monica Bass, and I have a daughter, Sophia, who's in kindergarten. So this is my first year as a Council Rock parent. And I find that it's been very rewarding getting involved with the PTSA, and I encourage you to get involved in some way that you can. I've had a much stronger connection with the school, and I've gotten to understand some of the events that go on and meet some of the great teachers and staff that work here. So today we just wanted to tell you a little bit about what we do and some of the events we offer.
Hello, I'm the first Monica. This is my 7th year at Council Rock, my 3rd year as a building chair. I have a kindergartner, a 2nd grade or 3rd grader at Friends, and a 6th grader at TCMS. So we do a lot of different things. We do things for the students, we do things for the staff and the teachers. We coordinate some things that are just like year-round. You come in, you help when you can, like the art room, the library, recycling helpers. These are things that you can come in, hop in one day and never do it again if you don't like it. It's not a big commitment. We do other things that are just one-time events like the book fair, Book fair, ice cream social, school pictures, staff appreciation. These are, events that are just happening one time, and you donate either food or money or your time. My favorite is the bus loop helpers. It's a newer one that started because of the construction. And we, right at the beginning of the school year, get all the kids off the bus and we guide them to their right door, and it is pure joy to see how excited these kids are to go to school. They have no idea what they're doing, but it is so cute, and they are just so excited. That's my favorite. But yeah, these are all of the events that we do. And if you sign up, you can sign up to chair an event, and that means you're going to take it and you are going to run with it. Or you can volunteer to just be a volunteer. And that would mean you're just going to do like one little thing for the event, and it's not really on your shoulders. And we have sign-up geniuses, so it's very easy to sign up. And we post everything on the Facebook page, so if you're not part of the Brighton class of 2035, is what I said? Facebook page, you can join that. And we also, we have a lovely gentleman named Dan Goldman who sends everything out when we need him to as well, when we need stuff. So that's what we do and how we let you know about it.
Okay.
That's more of just what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, we had to set up the whole library. I don't know if you guys got to see it when you came through, but you need to make sure you take a peek in there. When my son came and helped set up all the books, he said it's like walking into a child's imagination. And that really is like, I think what you guys are going for. So we do school pictures. That is just adorable. Hope your kid doesn't have pictures after gym class. Ice cream social. Very self-explanatory. Book fair, those tend to be on the same night. Staff appreciation and hospitality, we just provide snacks for the teachers and the staff.
All right, so I'm Emmy Lou. I have a kindergarten here in Nessa Rose. And so one of the ways, the easiest way to volunteer is if you can, scan the QR code at the top with your cell phone. That'll take you right to the Council Rock PTSA webpage. Another really good thing is that when the Ptsa Calendar link comes out, make sure to purchase it. It's $10. It has all of the events for all of the schools nicely wrapped up in here, as well as contact information for every school, including transportation, the staff, and everyone that you need to talk to. Also, I think we have a little, on the Parents drop-down tab, you can search for the Brighton PTSA and enter into the volunteer form link. If you are looking to volunteer, this is not like making you be one of the chairs or anything like that. This is just letting us know that, hey, I'm really interested, and so reach out to me, I want to help.
And just, if I could just add, that will not be updated until May for the 2022-2023 school year. That is currently still this year's form. So that gets cleared out at the end of the year, all right?
And that's us.
Awesome. Thank you. I truly can't say enough about how much the PTSA does for our kids and also for us as a staff, in particularly these last few years as we've muddled through and figured out how best to serve our kids and our families during the pandemic. So a couple of things. I am going to make certain assumptions tonight. They're not as big assumptions as they were last year when I was presenting, but I'm making assumptions that we will all be here in person next year. So when I talk about that, I'm even going to go so far as maybe we won't have to wear masks. But either way, what we're going to talk about today is being here and in person. I'm not talking about remote. If we have to get to there, we'll inform you of that on another time. So really, again, thanks for being here tonight. We're so looking forward to being partners with you. That's what Council Rock, I think, does some of the best work, is partnering with you as you start this important and crucial journey through your child's school career. So a couple of just fundamental things about Council Rock. Our goals are really establishing that love for school and love for learning, and that is a major part of our kindergarten program. It was really interesting when I started to go through this. No secret, this is my 10th year here at Council Rock. This is a similar presentation, and I kind of brought this back to the kindergarten team as we are halfway through or nearing the halfway point of our first year at full day K. And there isn't a lot that I had to tweak in here because our teachers in a half-day program were really, really working hard to try to, I'll say it, squish everything into that half day. And one of our major goals was not to turn kindergarten into, as a full day program, into a first year program or first grade program. So a lot of what we still stand for is exactly true. We just have more time in the kindergarten day now to be able to explore, to be able to stop, to be able to give kids time to think and teachers time to think, as well as expand and just have more time. So not a whole lot is, you're not going to see, oh yeah, we're looking for these benchmarks that are new. We're looking for the same things. We just have more time to explore those things in our full day program, and we are loving it, and the kids are loving it. So again, providing a safe, nurturing environment for your child to do that learning and meeting them where they are. I think that's probably the most important thing. The biggest question I often get is, what can I do to have my child ready for kindergarten? There are some things, and we'll talk about it, but most of all, we meet your child where they are, and we help them develop themselves in the journey. So one of the ways that we provide that safe, nurturing environment is our school pledge. So we say the pledge to the flag every day, and if you have been here before, you know the Council Rock pledge. But Ms. Flores and I base almost all discussions we have, any kind of mistakes that child might make. So discipline, we work through the Council Rock pledge, because if you live the Council Rock pledge, the world would be a better place if we all did. So being respectful, being kind, and treating others as they want to be treating, and then taking responsibility for what you do and what you say, and then always, every day, giving your best. So we use this every day. The kids say it, the kids know it, and then we talk about living it, and we process any concerns or questions that we have with students, often right through the Council Rock pledge. All right, I am going to turn it over to Ms. Flores. She's got the meat of this presentation, and she let me know that as she was reviewing it today. She's like, wow, you gave me a lot of things. So she's got a lot that she's going to share, and you can go for it.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. This is my first year here at Council Rock. I'm thrilled to be here. Just to let you know, I will try my best to stay in this spot. Otherwise, if you see me during presentations, I'm over there, back there, everywhere. I love to move around. But kindergarten is a change. We have children that are arriving with a range of experiences, from attending a full day program to a part day program, or just being home. We are ready to meet your child where they are and to support them in their individual growth, just like Mr. Tappan mentioned earlier. Most of our children are moving from a small family setting to a large group setting. All right, up until this point, they may have had an adult help them getting dressed, cleaning up, taking care of their belongings. All right. And kindergarten is a year where they have to be more independent. They begin to transition towards greater independence. An example of greater independence would be getting off the bus on their own and making their way to their doors. If you notice, we have very well-designed doors where they are either the orange squares, the yellow circles, and the kids learn how to get off the bus and really say, okay, I have to go in through the yellow circle doors to get to my classroom. That's the nearest door to my classroom. And as Monica mentioned earlier in the presentation, the first week we have a lot of parents here really supporting us, and the kids, you'll see it, the first week may seem a little hectic, crazy, but by day 3, they have it. They know where to go. Here are some things that will be helping your child in becoming more responsible. So keeping track of their own belongings, hanging up their coats, their own backpacks, dressing themselves, putting on boots, hats, gloves, and scarves, including zippering their coats. So our children, our students do have recess every single day, and I'll talk about that a little later. But we have some beautiful playgrounds, so they go, if the weather's wonderful, not like these past few days, they go outside, and there are times when they have to put on their snow pants, their boots before heading outside. So that will be something that, they'll have to learn to do. Cleaning up materials they've used, making appropriate choices and putting forth their best effort, applying other self-help skills, and problem solving. Students will be expected to do more things for themselves, interacting with peers, adults, and other than their parents. Students will be encouraged to ask a friend for help, ask a neighbor for help, and be a helper themselves. As a community of learners, every day we work together and practice together ways in which we can work together successfully. We work on following school and classroom rules and expectations, developing social skills, cooperating in work and play, sharing and respecting materials. So lifelong skills are a part of our overarching goal that is embedded in our district and our school's mission. So in kindergarten, we stress the importance of caring about all people and the world around us. Children share their feelings and ideas. And then diversity is recognized at our school by having our children learn to celebrate strength in themselves and others, to appreciate similarities and differences, and to help each other. This is something that we do not only through our academic curriculum, but through our second step curriculum. So caring for our environment. We have a friendship garden, and we also have a courtyard, and for those of you that end up visiting the classrooms, you will be able to point out the courtyard is a beautiful space. Children are able to get out there and study in the fall and spring, and we take pride in taking care of our classroom and our school. The Common Core Learning Standards. These are a set of national standards that New York State has adopted that look at how, across the K-12 experience, do we prepare our students for readiness to career, college, and life. By the time your child is a third grader, they will be prepared. We focus on building strong foundational skills in all academic areas, and we continue to have thematic units with race standards. Our program is built around concrete exploration that sets the groundwork for working with more abstract concepts later. Yes, that's right. Materials and equipment are designed for this age group. Rules and routines foster positive social interaction. And then children are given the time to explore materials, experience hands-on learning. Yep, and we work on the development of knowledge and skills. So language arts, they are exposed to a variety of literature. And we totally understand that children come from a variety of entry points and experiences. We take them from where they are to meet expectations. These are some skills that children will need to have established. So here we have the reading and writing readiness skills, so that include letter recognition and letter sounds, listening to sounds, so environmental sounds, sounds in a word, writing their name, learning how to rhyme, and hear when words rhyme. Writing sentences, the writing workshop, reading books, and displaying comprehension through discussions, producing rhymes, and recognition of sight words. In math, we work on a balance between efficiency, fluency with basic facts, and critical thinking, and problem-solving skills for conceptual understanding. So for math readiness, number recognition and counting are domains that are critical in kindergarten. So counting to 100 by ones, by tens, addition and subtraction, identifying patterns, having a strong number sense, so less, more, equal, decomposing numbers, and writing numbers. We do have science and social studies, and these are two subject areas integrated into our literacy program. And then for project readiness, so we do a lot, our students are involved in a lot of projects, so it's very important that our children know how to hold a writing utensil, that they're able to cut with scissors, because there's many projects involved. With the arts, it's also integrated into the classroom experience through projects and crafts. And then special area classes. So our students engage in specials every day. We work on a 6-day cycle, and within that 6-day cycle, they have PE twice, music twice, library once, and art once. And then, like I mentioned, our students engage in recess every single day for 30 minutes. And now I am happy to pass it over to Mr. Tappan.
I did give her the bulk of everything. So, so when she talked about when Ms. Flores talked about those readiness skills, I don't want anyone to be panicking or leaving here and saying, wait a minute, they're supposed to be, those are the skills that we work on throughout the entire year in kindergarten. So letters are taught, but we also differentiate within that because some of our students come knowing all their letters. So we're supporting kids, again, where they are and moving them along in their own development. So the other aspect that is really important to us is developing those social skills and those social emotional skills. They've become more of the highlight across K-12, certainly something we've always focused on, but in kindergarten it is definitely a major focus for our students. And again, adjusting. So holding on to attention for longer periods of time. When you first walk into a kindergarten class, things change about every 5 minutes. Right about now, we're changing every 15 to 20 minutes. It's amazing to watch how students and classes and classrooms have built that. Beginning, so initiating a task, sticking with it until completion, listening to a teacher or another adult besides their parent to follow directions, taking turns and sharing with a playmate or a peer, and then communicating their needs, using words. And it's really interesting, this particular kindergarten class that is currently here struggled with a lot of these things because of the pandemic. It was something that we kind of had to go right back to the basics to really talk about, to really review some of these basic skills. So our teachers have it in them, and the kids certainly are learning and doing great things. So each child, every day your child is going to be encouraged to do their best, think about their own learning, so doing some metacognition, thinking about their own thinking, asking questions and exploring, really capitalizing on that curiosity and creativity. And then we talked about it, making the big oops and how we learn from our mistakes and really getting that growth mindset that goes along with our habits of mind, that a mistake is actually an awesome opportunity and we all make mistakes, and how do we move forward after? That's what really matters. So a lot of people ask me, so what can I do? What can I do to make sure they're ready? So I think the most important thing, some of these are very obvious, and I don't mean to at all, demean you already knowing some of these things, but staying positive about school and talking about what an awesome, exciting opportunity it's going to be. Providing opportunities for your child to explore and learn everywhere that they are. Encouraging those questions. I have a 5-year-old, so I know how those questions can sometimes get you down. But really saying, oh, what do you think? How do you think about that? Reading is still the most important thing that you can do, I would say. Reading, talking, and listening to your child. And then we'll be providing you with some materials at screening, which we'll talk about in a little bit, called an I Can list. And those are just some things you can look at to kind of do your own self-assessment and then start to talk about some of those things. Again, there is no prerequisite for entering kindergarten except that they are 5 by the time December 1st of 2022 comes along. So This list is not a checklist of like, you can't come if you don't do these. They're just things that you can keep in mind. The homeschool connection is super important, and most of our teachers utilize either a homework folder or a take-home folder. It's really important. That's where a teacher will do some really great communication with you, maybe share some work with you. That's something to check every day. It's also something to give as a responsibility for your child to help with that. Have them put it out on the counter, have them make sure it's packed right back into that backpack. You can also establish routines now, and some examples of those are bedtime, brushing teeth, some of those rituals that you do. Those all help in building what we will do here and continue to build on here at Council Rock. So modeling organization, I know this is a big one at my house because I had to figure out what our organization system was, but sticking to that and having the same routine for that, where you put a note for the teacher and having your child participate with that and allowing them, I think that's the thing that I've learned the most, is allowing them to do when they can and supporting them when they need your help. But the more that they can do and take the ownership of it, the better the place you are going to be in. So setting specific bedtime and helping them know what that time looks like on the clock. Manners are something we really do stress a lot here. Politeness and making sure that you are treating people around you with kindness and respect. This is another one where I'm going to get on my soapbox a little bit about planning your child's day. So just be careful not to over-plan. I know we as parents all want to give every opportunity, and Brighton is a wonderful place that has a ton of opportunity. But making sure that they have time to explore, play, have some of that downtime, especially as they're entering into that kindergarten year, if possibly for the first time, a full day of learning. They'll be tired when they come home for sure. So allowing them that sufficient time to explore and create by themselves or with friends. And then, like I said, don't do for them what they can do for themselves. And that, again, I think back to when my son was learning to tie his shoes. And it was so much easier for me just to tie them because we could get out the door. And sometimes I did tie them, but a lot of times I would let him struggle through that to be able to come out the other end to learn that independence. All right, we've talked a lot at you. So the registration process, you are here because you found out about us, whether it was because you have either filled out the census form or you heard from a neighbor. So you've made the first step, and that is here, and then completed information night, which is tonight. Mid-February, my secretary, Doris Young, if you haven't gotten to know her, she will be one of your main contacts here at Council Rock as you are going through the registration process. She will email out school and health related packet. So we are doing everything electronically. This is one of those things that we learned through the pandemic while we were closed, that we could do it electronically. And one of those things, why would we go back to the paper way? If you need the paper way, we certainly can provide that for you, but it certainly is a lot more efficient for most people to do it online. And then registration will be completed online with those school and health forms, and those can be done as soon. We have some people who've already completed them who are not behind if you haven't, but by mid-March we usually do that. And then in May and June we'll be planning screening and parent interviews. So what the screening process looks like is students will come in and meet with a couple of different providers and staff members, usually one of our reading staff or support staff, as well as a speech teacher usually, who just takes them through some interesting questions and things like that to learn a little bit about what they know. You will have a time as parents to meet with one of our amazing mental health staff. So currently we have 3 counselors, a psychologist, and a social worker. So we have 5 support staff in the mental health. And really that time is just spent getting to know you, but also connecting about your child and learning about who they are through your eyes, understanding their quirks, understanding their strengths, understanding any concerns or questions you have, telling us about the kind of classroom or teaching style that best supports them so that then we can hopefully make a match. Are there any peers that you know they're coming in with that would be a really good match for them, help ease anxiety or help them, get through kind of that first hump? Or, contrary, there's a neighbor or even maybe a relative who it would be best if they weren't together. We'll take that information And then over the summer, Ms. Flores and I will work feverishly to create those class lists. That all gets sent out at the beginning of August with your classroom assignment, teacher information. They share a lot of what we already shared to you tonight, again with some more specifics about how their particular class runs. We always, as long as we are allowed, have an orientation and a meet the teacher so that you can bring your child in, drop off supplies, find out where their classroom is, walk around the school a little bit together. And then usually that happens right before we start school. And then in September, with your teacher, whoever your child was assigned, you'll have a curriculum night which goes through in depth all of this. So what I'm saying to you is, what we just went through planted a seed for you and cultivated the garden. Your brain does not need to hold on to all of that. You are going to hear that several more times with more specificity as we go through. So, next steps. If you are here because you heard it from a neighbor and you didn't actually get an invitation or information from Doris, what I would ask you to do is just take down Doris's information, our number here or our email. She will make sure that you then get registered and get yourself online so that we have you in our system so that you'll continue to get any information that we send out. And then what a kindergarten classroom looks like. So I'm going to ask, this is just on the honor system, just to keep you a little bit separated. We are going to head out in just a second and head down to classrooms. I will be out there to point you where room 80 is. They're all 4 classrooms in our brand new wing. As you go out, I would encourage you to just take a look in the library, which is straight across. I turned the lights on so you can see it. It is one of our proudest spaces for sure. Our librarian, Adele Moscovichus, has truly transformed. I asked her if the library police were going to come and find her because she took all of our books and first of all displayed them the way that children look at them. So our children are very visual and that's how they look for things. So they're all displayed. I called them, I'm dating myself a little bit, but they're in like a record album display so that you can flip through them. And they're at their height, but they're also categorized by subject rather than by the Dewey Decimal System or anything like that. So if a child comes in and says, I really want a book about a cat, there's a section on cats, and then she usually says, do you want a story about cats or do you want to learn about cats? Because those 2 sections then, instead of having a fiction and a nonfiction section, are located right close together so that they can say, well, I really want to learn more about a cat. Okay, you can go to the nonfiction section. It's a benefit because that's how kids are looking for things and locating them. But then the way that they're arranged is also not so precise. They can pull a book out. They don't want that when they put it back in about the general same section. For those who are very worried whether they will learn how a real library works, as we move into early chapter books, those are arranged much more traditionally like a library would so that children before they leave here will have the experience of how that might be organized. But kids are much more independent in the library, going and finding what they're looking for. So as you go out, please feel free to take a look there. And then we're going to head down into the brand new wing. The wing did not exist before our construction. All of those classrooms that you're going to visit are in. We do have kindergarten rooms in the older wings, but I thought it was nice to show you a shiny new one. So before you go, I just want to say thanks. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the partnership. We really are looking forward to meeting your children, getting to know them, and welcoming them to our amazing community. If you have any questions along the way, that's what we're here for. Please don't think that there is a silly question. We are happy. Our number is there, and then Shirley and my emails are there. So welcome to the Council Rock community officially. We are so excited to have you, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the night. Thanks so much.
This has been a special presentation from Council Rock Primary School.